What's up, guys? It's the Farooqi family back with another video, and today's a big one because James Gunn and Peter Safran and the wider DC Studios has finally unveiled Chapter 1 of their slate for the DCU. So it's a lot of big announcements. I still think it's a lot of confusion, but I want to get your thoughts. I'm going to give my thoughts, of course, as well. So let's just jump right into it. So, like I said, this morning, it's been a whole month waiting. James Gunn promised that sometime in January, we're going to get the slate for DC. And it turns out it was the last day of January. So we got Chapter 1. That's what these things are going to be called from now on. You know, Marvel does phases. The DCU had nothing, but now the DCEU had no way of describing it. And now DCU will be Chapter 1. This is going to be annoying to say. Let me just quickly give you a list of movies that are part of this list. I mean, we got Superman Legacy, Batman Brave and Bold, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, Booster Gold, Swamp Thing, Paradise Lost, which is a Wonder Woman spinoff, and a couple of more as well. So it's a lot going on. I want to hear everyone's first initial thoughts, and I'm actually going to start with myself. I'm going to start us off. Yeah, so it's interesting because there's what a surprise. Yeah. It's interesting because, like, you know, the DCEU, I was talking about with you guys yesterday. I think I'm going to bring up the same thing. I was actually workshopping with you guys yesterday. And that's that, you know, when you look at the DCEU, what's kind of ended now, it was kind of a mess. And that's looking at it from the most objective way possible. You can start with the Snyder, Nolan era of Man of Steel and BVS, but then even with BVS, course correction started right away. You enter the Jeff Johns era, you get Joss Whedon's Justice League. That flops. You get a couple of, you know, good movies in the middle, and then right away you get the Hamada era, which has been almost consecutively flop after flop after flop. The only two movies that weren't flops, The Joker and Batman, the Batman, happened to not be part of the universe. So in a sense, the DCU was a cluttered mess. So when James Gunn and Peter Safran took over, it's natural that it was either going to be a reboot or try to make things work. And I'm sure all of us have very different opinions on the road they could have taken. And for better or worse, they've chosen the road of question mark, because some of it's a reboot, some of it isn't. It's a lot more complicated as always. But my opinion is, I guess we got to wait and see. So the DCEU is dead, but at the same time, it's still going to be moving forward. It's going to be limping to the finish line. Let's call it what it is. Yeah, it's going to be limping to the finish line. But officially, Superman Legacy, which is coming out in 2025, is going to be the start of what James Gunn's version of DC is going to be. So am I personally excited? I got to say, I'm not that excited. There are things I'm more happy with, some of the things that I was hearing in rumors days prior, but I still don't think this is like some kind of game changer where you're like finally a unified vision. I'm left a little more confused than I was before. So that's kind of my initial thoughts. So Zion, I want to jump to you next. What were you thinking? Quick thoughts, and then we'll get into the deeper dive of the movies themselves.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with all the points you make, especially in terms of, like, most people think that, okay, when the slate comes out, it'll dispel some of the confusion or the rumors that, okay, what are they actually planning long term? And now the slate is out, it's kind of like, is there even an end goal? Like, what is the big event film they're planning towards? Because it seems like the Justice League proper is kind of like in shambles, or a question. They're like, oh, we're leaving the door open for Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller, Gal Gadot, all these things. But, like, is that really what they're doing, or are they just saying that so they don't shoot the movies that are about to come out on the foot? And that also adds to confusion. And then if those aren't part of it, then all these other characters like Booster Gold and Amanda Waller's series or whatever, how does that play into a wider event film or a Justice League film, which is also the goal, or should be the goal, in the future? And then along with that, what villain would it be? Are they going to go Darkseid again? There's so many questions in the air, and it seems like from this slate, it's still unclear that they're building towards something big, like an event film. Like even Phase 1 of Marvel, you knew that, okay, all these characters, they are Avengers, so it's going to end up in some Avengers film or some kind of big event film. But now there's so many disjointed pieces that don't really go together in this new slate that it kind of leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. And Umar, I want to jump to you next. You were probably the least interested when the news came out that James Gunn is now leading the ship here at DC. So now you get a taste of what his vision was. Are you left less excited, about the same? Where do you stand on it now that you've seen kind of what the movies looked like in his first plan?
About the same, because it was never it was there was I mean, it's not that it's not there's no excitement. I think it's more the case that we've been having this conversation repeatedly about like where the DC universe should go with their films, and each time we have it, there's a lot of confusion about like the universe itself. I mean, now they're rebooting, so there's less confusion. But then there's still some confusion because some of these characters can potentially come back. You know, like Aquaman. I think he's a shoo-in now to come back for 3, right? Because Peter Safran said it.
So
right?
Peter
So
Safran
he's
did
coming
say that
back.
Aquaman 3 is potentially still in development. So
Okay, so that makes things a little bit interesting. I think Ezra Miller, they've kept that door open.
yeah.
Um,
But does that
So
make you
it's
more
like-
frustrated for Henry Cavill? Because like they said, yeah, for Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller, and Zachary Levi, the doors may be open. We're gonna see in the future. But for everyone else, no, we're good. You know, like
well, they decided to make they decided to reboot this whole thing. You know, like honestly, one of the plans that might have worked better is that why don't you let the one guy that actually wanted to go, you let him go, which is Ben Affleck. He wanted to leave, just do the Flash movie, bring in a younger Batman. You know, they could have done something like that. Instead, they went for like 120-year-old Michael Keaton, right? But they could have easily done that, and you just keep all the characters and then go and make your story, right? But I think James Gunn, like he said it in a like I think there's a quote from him, right, saying that like we didn't want Henry Cavill, like we had a story in mind, and Henry Cavill wasn't the Superman. We never casted him. So with all that being said, I think that there's some movies on this slate I think that won't even see the light of day. I feel like they're gonna struggle out the gate because even though it'll be quite a while after Man of Steel, I think with the Superman character, it's tough because you always have this constant comparison, and it's not like the Batman where people actually give each actor that plays the character their own respect. With Superman, it seems like you just have a really big shadow that you have to live up to, and if you don't, or if you can't, in whatever respect, if the character is slightly different, people kind of can't accept it. So I think for better or worse, they're gonna struggle out the gate. I think the Batman movie that they're saying that they're gonna be Robin, again, they're going with an older Batman, even though it would have made sense now that you're starting a new universe, just go with a younger Batman and then just have a very streamlined Marvel-esque type of thing. But now you're gonna have the same kind of issues before, where Ben Affleck's is like, you know, older Batman that you're gonna go for. And then the story's not even about him. It's gonna be you have his son in the movie, right?
Yeah.
So they're clearly going for the Bat family. And then you already have Matt Reeves, the Batman, already like kind of playing at the same time. So it's like organizationally, it's still kind of a mess. Like we're still having the same conversation.
yeah.
It's just a little bit different.
I'm gonna get to that side as well because the Batman thing is interesting. I want to touch on it in a minute. But before we do that, Samir, I just want to get to you and your thoughts because listen, after Black Adam came out, I think you were the first one who said, listen, it's time to just shut this down. Like it's time to start fresh. Like so now they are starting fresh to some degree. So are you to quote, the great Horace, are you happy?
Well, all right. Just to preface, I want to say that Black Adam is still the worst thing ever. I'm really glad that we're moving away from that. As far as the slate, most of the stuff that I don't like about it is the TV show related stuff. Like I couldn't be bothered to watch all those shows. And I hate Marvel for introducing the Disney Plus TV show method of adding to the universe. I think it's kind of stupid, and they should use those characters for the good ones for the movies at least. And I don't really want to see a TV show for Amanda Waller or whatever else. Just maybe drop that altogether and make them secondary characters in movies. As far as starting the slate in 2025,
What about the
kind of
game,
like
bro?
that-
What about the gaming aspect, Samir?
What game?
There's gonna be
It's not just TV shows. The
Yeah.
games are also going to be connected now.
They're doing the animated stuff also connected with the voices, right?
Yeah,
that's
it's gonna
what
be
Marvel did too,
animation, video games, live action TV, and film. It's a bit of a mess, and I don't know why they did this because Marvel Phase 4 has kind of proved that the method doesn't necessarily work. Like, yeah, get some subscribers on your platform, but you're gonna confuse the fans. I mean, look at us. Like, I just couldn't be. After Moon Knight, I'm like, what? She-Hulk? No, I'm not gonna watch that. Like, it's like, who's gonna keep it? Who's gonna keep up going with these shows? I'm same with DC. Like, it's gonna be a uphill climb. Like, maybe the Green Lantern show. Like, okay, you might sell me there, but anything other than that, like, I'm not watching whatever the other Creature Commando or whatever the movies are.
I guarantee you right now, okay, with the exception of Creatures Commando, because that's I'm not even gonna get into that. But with the exception of Creatures Commando, Shrad's gonna watch every single thing on that slate if it comes out.
Charles will watch the TV shows. We know this.
He's watching every TV show, every episode.
It's all
Calling it right here.
what it is.
Is that right?
Fair enough. But Fatima, I want to jump to you next as our guest for today. I mean, just what do you make of this slate?
It's lackluster. Sorry guys, I have a cold, but I find it very there's only a few of these projects that I am quite interested in. Swamp Thing was something that I think has a lot of potential if they do follow what they had in the TV show. The TV show was a masterpiece in terms of like how you set up this character in a universe. So I'm hoping that they follow the same formula that they had for the TV show, or bring someone who's really good with that type of dark storytelling for that character. I don't. In terms of other projects, Amanda Waller, again, Viola Davis is coming back, so that in my head, and Peacemaker's coming back for season 2 too. So that also means that it's not a full reboot. I would have absolutely been on board with whatever slate they came out if it was a complete and utter new reboot with new characters, new start, just everything is new. But this partial reboot seems kind of self-defeatist of what the goal is, right? The goal is to create a cohesive universe that starts fresh, that has a different taste to it, for example. But if you're bringing in some characters and not the rest, and in some capacity or form, then I feel like it's still carrying on the mess. If you're going to start, you should start completely new. Other than that, I think maybe, yeah, like I said, something was the main thing. Again, focusing on the Amazons more so than Wonder Woman herself might be a fresh take, especially
I think it's a cop out.
Yeah, especially after Wonder Woman 84.
I don't like that. Idea.
I think it might be good.
I think it's just them very afraid to reboot Gal Gadot, and they just want to buy themselves time.
Oh, so it's so yeah. That project seems like it's
them waiting,
fulfilling her contract in some capacity, and then having some other form. Maybe, I don't know.
I hate it. Don't like that idea. I don't like the slate. The more we discuss it, the more I dislike it.
If the Amazon show is about
the Brave and the Bold.
You didn't mention Superman or Batman, yeah? Like
Superman, actually, despite my personal reservations with how James Gunn approaches characters in general, and his style and the way that he does, portray characters both in Marvel and in DC in general, maybe there is hope that Superman fans finally get something. You guys haven't had anything since Man of Steel, really, if you think about it. I suppose Batman versus Superman does kind of count.
Superman fans are in the gutter, I'm telling you.
I know. You're gonna get something. Maybe not from the person that you
Nothing
wanted,
good,
but I mean, there is like a sliver of hope that we can sit there and hold on to, for example, and just see if there is some potential in this new Superman. Is this and hopefully this new Superman actually continues and you get more
maybe
the character on the big screen. But who knows? I feel very icky about the way that it is. Is it like I genuinely was on the side that it should have been a full entire reboot?
In my opinion, they just wasted the one thing they should have done is just be clean in your approach. And even your one announcement was messy. Like, dude, this is the one thing to get right and you got it wrong. But I thought a fun way is I don't want to make this stream too long because we're gonna do it properly and during Built Different. But I'm gonna go through the full list with you guys, and I wanted to hear just basic. Are you excited or are you not? That's it. I'm gonna ask everyone the same question.
Excited, middle, not.
Let's make it harder. Just excited or not. No middle. You got to pick something. So I'm pulling up the list of all the movies and TV shows getting announced, and we're just going to do a quick thing. Like I said, are you excited or are you not? There is no middle, no cop-outs. You just have to say if you're excited or not, okay? We're starting with the biggest project. It's Superman Legacy. Fatima, I'm going to start with you. Are you excited or not?
Yeah.
All right, Zion, what about you? Are you excited for Superman Legacy?
I am excited for Superman.
Yeah, I think morbid curiosity can take us somewhere. Umar, what about you? Out of all the projects, I think Superman Legacy is the only one that at least is curiosity to see it. Like, we'll show up to the theater.
Hell no.
So you're not showing up to the theater. You're gonna
This guy's such a liar. I swear.
I'll watch
to
it.
God.
No, I'll watch it. Listen. I'm as excited
Yeah.
for it. Maybe watching like Superman Returns, you know?
What do you say? What did he say?
On
You didn't
rewatch,
hear?
by the way. Not even the first time I watched it. On rewatch.
All right,
When you get excited, you know that's one. There's one scene. There's bound to be one scene in there that's gonna be like a really good action scene. You could go off. You could watch it for years and years, right? Just like Superman Returns, saving that plane. But you know the movie's gonna be trash, and because I already know the movie's gonna be trash, I'm not excited for it. You know, if James Gunn was directing it and not writing it, I might have been actually more excited.
I actually 100% agree with you.
That's actually a very strong take.
Anyone else, I would have been like, let's do it. All right, Samir, while your eyes water, I want you to tell me if you're excited for Superman Legacy. Bro's crying about how bad DC looks like for the next 10 years.
Listen,
He's
I'm
crying
excited
because
to
now
see
looking at his list, he misses Black Adam.
Suddenly, Black Adam is not that bad.
Listen, I'm excited to see if he kills the villain at the end, since you love that, you know. It's your thing.
Fair enough. All right. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Unclear if this is a reboot or if this is a continuation of The Flash. Honestly, it's hard to tell. I think it's going to be a fresh Supergirl. Based on the description, quick one I'll give you guys. They're saying it's going to be like a different take on her. She'll be much more like hardcore and like, I don't know. So,
What?
I'm excited for Superman. I am excited for Superman Legacy because, it's been 10 years. I have to see it. It is what it is. All right, Supergirl, I'll start with this one too. I will say yes because this list is so like mid that I'm going to say, yeah, I will be excited for Supergirl. Let's just see what they do with it. Same. What about you, John? Excited for Supergirl?
Yeah, I'm mildly excited. Like, I'm interested in it enough to be excited for it.
Maybe we should change it interested or not interested. Maybe that's a better thing than excited or not excited.
Yeah, like I said.
I think you said
Yeah, but then we're interested in all these characters.
We're not.
Not true.
Well, yeah, I mean not all of them, but the
Alright,
main.
We're not.
Like you're not interested in Superman.
Whichever
Supergirl,
one you want to go
Batman?
with. Are you? What's your thoughts on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow?
No, I don't. I care less.
There was a
If he
Supergirl
doesn't
movie.
care about Superman, why would he care about Supergirl?
Listen,
Exactly, well said.
There's a Supergirl movie that was in development under the Hamada administration, but I don't think this movie is that.
That's an administration, like talking about Obama or something. Anyways,
All right, Batman: Brave and the Bold. Quick thing about Batman: Brave and the Bold. It's gonna be a brand new Batman, probably in his mid-30s. He has a Robin. It's gonna be Damian Wayne, his son. They're doing a father-son story. They're adopting the Grant Morrison
talking.
comic. So
We all hate it.
are we excited or not? I'm gonna say yes, only because this is why. We've all been very consistent on this chat, especially you, Zion, that we don't want Matt Reeves' universe to be tampered with, touched, brought into the universe. Leave it alone. We've been consistent on leaving it alone. Now they listened and left it alone. So technically, this should be fine, right? Zion, what do you think?
Technically, it should be, but they have to release the worst synopsis for a movie, and I swear to God, I'm not interested at all. Maybe if the Batman's universe didn't exist, I'd be like, okay, yeah, it's another Batman. But now that you have something so perfect, like the Batman did absolutely perfect in every way, you're releasing this very sub-tier movie with the worst Robin, in my opinion, of them all, which is Damian Wayne, and a Batman where, okay, he has a 10-year-old son, which means he's at least, like you said, in his 30s or older. Like, you're ruining the perfect opportunity to have a young Batman and a young Superman start, or at least a relatively young Batman and a young Superman to start in this universe together and be like the world's finest. But now you have an older Batman again, which they just did in Zack Snyder's universe, and they already did it very well. And now they're like doing a different version of that, but
I think it'll
much
be younger
worse.
than that. To give them credit, it'll be younger than that.
Still,
Because
he won't.
Ben
be
Affleck
Superman.
Batman was the
It'll be
Ben
a lot
Affleck Batman
younger.
was after all Robins. The Ben Affleck Batman was after everything was done. This is like Batman year 10, not year 20. So there's a bit of a difference.
I still think it's a bad. Yeah, I also hate Damian Wayne as a character. I think he's a horrible character.
He's not that bad.
He's a bad Robin. Like Dick Grayson was obviously the best Robin, and now the only reason they left him alone is because Matt Reeves said, "No, I have plans for him." Then I'll accept their reasoning. But right now they're like, "Oh yeah, that's our favorite Robin." When that gives me no hope or excitement for this movie, and I think even synopsis-wise, looks boring and bad.
Like the Supergirl movie, they're saying they're pretty much adopting comic book runs. So like for Supergirl, they're adopting a Tom King run, and then for this one, they're adopting Grant Morrison. So maybe that means being closer to the books. I don't know. Like, so Samir, what about you? Batman Brave and the Bold. Do you think it's gonna be like the Brave and the Bold TV show?
I'm pretty interested just to see the Bat family.
Yeah,
This guy's literally crying while he's saying it.
Listen, no cap. I could take an opposite stance of Zion. I think Batman Brave and the Bold is the best movie on this list.
Stop.
It's by far the most
Superman is the best one. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Superman is the best thing on the list.
Superman's the best.
So you think a James Gunn Superman movie is going to be better than a Batman movie? We don't even know who the director is going to be on.
At least synopsis-wise, aside from the Truth, Justice, American Way, everything else, it sounds interesting, like a good Superman movie.
American Way. The whole synopsis was we're bringing Superman back to being Truth, Justice. You know?
No, the synopsis is that he's trying to balance his Kryptonian heritage with his human element, whatever. And that's interesting enough for like, okay, it's gonna be a nice, simple movie.
Stop.
But Batman is like, why are you starting him at such a bad point in the beginning of the universe? Like, do that towards the middle or the end. Why are you starting him?
I wonder if Shroud's gonna write another immigration story about this one.
That's
probably not gonna happen.
It's just like the ultimate immigration story.
Okay, let me just translate what Zane and let me just translate what Shroud and Zion both said about the Batman. So they're interested in the Batman being untouched by this new Batman. So they're actually interested in the Batman, not Batman Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Also, I had no problem with them bringing Batman in, Matt Pattinson's Batman, after Matt Reeves is done. Like, give it a few years and just do your other characters. They're obviously planning doing a lot of garbage characters in this first chapter of the DCU. So, all right, leave Batman off to the side for a little bit and bring him in when Matt Reeves is done. And you bring that whole world in. If to introduce Robin, Dick Grayson there, you bring all those characters in, and then you have an established Batman that everybody already knows and everybody clearly already loved.
Matt Reeves is not going to be done until like 2027.
Exactly. Yeah, they can't wait that long. Batman has to.
They can't wait that
long. That's probably when the first chapter of DC will be done. So then, okay,
introduce him in the second. They want to get this done fast. They want to get us off the road quickly.
There's no way they can get all of this done in 3 years. If Superman's not coming out to like 24, 25, then how do they do everything else in that time?
They're developing everything concurrently. But what I will say is that in the article, one interesting tidbit, it said that Matt Reeves will only be directing Batman for at least one more movie, which means there is no guarantee this is a trilogy. I think you and Zan said it yourself on the chat yesterday. There's no guarantee of a trilogy. This could be a two-parter. Either way, what do you think?
Then if it's not, bring him in a third. So simple. Why make you a second Batman, which the casting won't be as good?
Why would you ever want Robert Pattinson's Batman to be absolutely ruined?
Yeah, why? Yeah. I don't want anything to do with. I don't want him.
He's the type to say no. Robert Pattinson's the type to say no.
No, but here's my reasoning. If Matt Reeves himself is stepping away or not finishing or completing a third trilogy, and his story that he has planned ends at 2, why would you let him go when you have such a great character, such a great universe, all the supporting characters great, Gordon, all these characters, Catwoman, bring them all in. Why are you throwing them away when you have such a great world established in those films? And if it's only 2, then the time constraint is not a thing anymore. You don't have to wait so many years. You can just bring them in right after the second film. I think that's a much better idea than the second Batman now.
They're going to do both, bro.
Yeah, in the end, they're going to do both. But in the end, this is something reserved, I think, for a larger debate. Because we need to get into this movie like fully and much more discussed for sure. Who didn't say if they're interested or not? I think just me and Zion went for 20 minutes on this one. Umar, are you interested in this movie? Yes or no?
Hell no.
Are you going to say no to everything on the list?
Let me see the list.
Like,
no, there's one thing in there. Maybe.
All right, we'll see. Samir, are you interested in Batman Brave and the Bold?
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Fatima? Batman Brave and the Bold? Really?
Not really.
But you're a Batman.
That's come from a Batman fan.
Yeah, because I just don't particularly like the idea of Damian Wayne and whatever. Isn't Batman actually Dick Grayson?
No, that was like a rumor that was out there, but no, this will be Bruce Wayne.
I don't know.
Yeah, this will be Bruce Wayne.
For now, I can quench my Batman thirst with the Batman from Matt Reeves. We'll see.
Depends on.
Really.
I would say depends on the director. Depends on the actor. Like,
how is he supposed to?
Everyone's done it.
Everyone done it.
Everyone's done their
Fair.
Brave and the Bold.
Fair.
I feel like you're such a huge fan of Brave and the Bold. Guys, he's
The
the,
book
num-
is-
he's
the
the
book is
number
good.
one Brave and the Bold fan. He's
It's-
literally
Yeah,
wanting
you're
to
such a
squat
Brave and the
for
Bold
an
supporter.
hour.
What's going on?
I'm just saying that these
He's
memes had
fought more. He's given more support for Batman than he did for Superman film.
That's why I'm
Excuse
so
me.
confused.
Who's writing the Superman film? Like, at least I'm staying consistent. So let's go a little quicker on this one then. The Wonder Woman TV series Paradise Lost.
Oh
Let's
god.
go in reverse order. Samir, are you interested or not?
No. I mean, I
Umar,
won't.
what about you?
No, of course not. Never.
Samir, Zion,
What?
No, I'm not interested.
Fatma.
Not particularly, no.
And I'm also a big no on this one. This is actually the worst project on the list, in my opinion.
Stop. There's something called Creature Commandos on the list. What's wrong with you?
At least that's a new thing. All right, Booster Gold, also a TV series.
Stop, man.
I'm not that interested. You never know; it could be kind of funny, but I don't think so. Fatma,
No, not really.
Zion, Booster Gold.
I'm not interested, but the one thing I'll say is that it might have chance for success because this character seems like somebody to be right up James Gunn's alley. So if he's
thinking
involved in it, writing wise or whatnot, I think it might actually do well for the audience.
It's one of the few characters that are in his wheelhouse. It's true.
I think I have a good idea. I think I have a good idea who they're gonna cast.
Chris Pratt.
Yep, straight up.
I'm
That was
such a-
so bad. I swear to God.
What if they offered this to Henry Cavill?
Apparently, Henry Cavill has something on the table. I don't know what it is. Umar, Booster Gold, is that your thing?
I'd rather not watch things ever
All right.
again.
Samir, Booster Gold. He's kind of like you. You remind me of Booster Gold.
I'm interested, but I won't watch it. I probably
There
won't
you
watch it.
All right, this is the one I've been waiting for. Creature Commandos, chat. I don't know. I'm not excited for it. Is it like an animated show?
It's the animated show.
Yeah, James
But-
Gunn personally wrote it.
No,
It's
he said
animated?
it's an animated show that some of the characters meander in and out, and the voice actors will be the same as the live action actors. I don't particularly like the merging of them in that way.
No. Did we all give our opinion on that? Creature Commandos? Is it all universal no's? All right. Amanda Waller TV series. This apparently is going to be a Peacemaker kind of esque continuation. Though it's going to be in the universe. He said that some actors will just reprise their role in the universe. Apparently, Amanda Waller is one of them. So this show does not take place in the old universe, but it also has the new old universe characters and Peacemakers in it. I don't know. So Amanda Waller,
They're gonna give her different clothes, different haircut, different everything, and
just pretend she's different.
No,
one. Yeah,
pretend
I'm-
she's different.
I'm not interested in it only because I don't like anything Suicide Squad related, and this is more of the same. I don't like Peacemaker. I don't like this universe. So I'm not interested. What about you guys?
I feel like bringing back Viola Davis is a mishap anyway, and bringing her back for a TV show is also. I mean, she did amazing in How to Get Away with Murder, but I'm not that interested.
She's beyond TV now.
It just depends on what the production and writing and directing around it is involved. So we'll see. I think.
Did I remind you Peacemaker's in the show?
Uh,
Zion, what about you? Viola Davis, Amanda Waller
I mean,
series.
I'm actually glad she's still in the universe. Amanda Waller. I don't know who else can play that character as well as she can. She's just perfect for the role, but I'm not interested in this series at all.
Omar, Samir.
No.
All right. Green Lanterns. Okay, I'll say I'm excited for this. I mean, only because the character's been shelved for a million years now. This is going to be Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, buddy cop adventure. They're comparing to True Detective, which I guess is an interesting comparison. It's going to be like a space opera. They're going across space doing stuff. I feel like I've heard this a few times already the last 10 years, but maybe this time it's actually going to happen. So I would say yes to this. Fatima, yes or no?
Same. Apparently, they're going to sprinkle other Green Lanterns in. I'm hoping that I see Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz. But yeah, I see myself at least giving the first couple of episodes a go.
Leon, what about you?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with Fatima. I think it is very interesting, and I will definitely give this a chance over any of the other shows they have planned.
Omar?
I'll give them 20 minutes in the first episode to grab my attention. If not, it'll be a no. But I'm interested in it. From what we've gotten, the first 20 minutes with Gammy, I'll do it.
Samir, it's all on you now. You're not a big TV series guy. It's another one. So
I'm interested, but I won't watch it probably.
you won't watch it.
How am I supposed to watch it then?
I don't want to watch TV shows.
I'll watch it with you.
Watch
For 20
TV.
minutes at least.
All right, and then there's the Authority, which I don't
You
think.
missed out.
What did I mean?
Swamp
Swamp
Thing, bro.
Yeah, Swamp Thing. I am interested in Swamp Thing. This is a movie, not a TV series. Now, there's some rumors, some sprinklings, some inklings out there that Guillermo del Toro is the person to have in mind for this movie. I will say if they have him for Swamp Thing, all right, this movie is going to be legit then. If not, it's a full horror movie as well, which I think is an interesting place to take this character. So I would say yes, I am interested, pending Guillermo del Toro as the director. If not, then I am only mildly interested.
I am definitely interested. I love the TV show. It was really well made. If they've got similar people working on it with Guillermo del Toro, that would be absolutely amazing. His work in general is just fantastic, especially in horror. Like I've been binging his Netflix Cabinet of Curiosities, which is also fun. So yes, I'm really excited for Swamp Thing, regardless of whether Guillermo del Toro is on it or not. I just have a liking to the creature.
Zion, what about you?
I didn't know about the Guillermo del Toro rumors, so if he's involved, then that makes it more interesting. If he's not, then I don't care for the show. I mean the movie.
Umar, what about you? Swamp Thing? You don't like swamps, do you?
Well, it's gonna be horror. If it's horror, then I can't even if I was interested, I wouldn't watch it. So
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a light horror, like horror light.
remember light horror? I don't know.
Don't forget they called Doctor Strange Multiverse a horror movie. That's what we're dealing with.
Shaking, bro.
So that's what we're dealing. If that's
He
what
was
we're
quaking
dealing
in
with,
his
but I'm
boots,
not
bro. You
interested
shouldn't
in
have
it.
been there. He was afraid, bro.
Don't forget they all said Batman and Suicide Squad would be like horror elements, like horror
Oh my
movie.
God. It was like
In the first Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Not in the second one.
It was different
I
roles.
asked that question.
And one more thing, I just want to bring it up. Remember, like how Marvel always compares their movies to like other big movies, like Winter Soldier is the Godfather and stuff. They literally said that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is like Dune. I'm like, what? What about it is gonna be like Dune? But apparently that's
The Mahdi gonna show up?
yeah. And then last thing is the Authority. What is this? I'm not sure. I didn't read
The
about
Authority is about a group of superheroes who believe that the world needs fixing, which everyone does.
Isn't that all superheroes
Not very
ever?
well-known superheroes. And he said he's interested in getting into this. So that's interesting.
it. That sounds like the worst project on the list, unfortunately.
That's what he said in the video. I'm only paraphrasing.
No,
what
I know,
got from
I
him.
know. It's just more like. All right, so what you guys? Authority.
It sounds like that Cadmus episode where they made those other superheroes, and then they're taking the spotlight from Superman.
That's what it sounds.
It's like a mix of that with like the Manchester Black and his team, and as like an opposite to Superman and what he stands for. It sounds bad, but like I don't know. It depends what heroes are in this movie.
I think they should fire James Gunn.
Don't start hashtagging on me now.
What?
All right, this is a hashtag fire James Gunn.
You love how
Shiraz deep
It's
inside
literally trending
his
right now.
veins agrees.
I never said anything. I was going to give everyone a chance, like see what he does. But listen, and then the last thing is there are movies coming out this year, like Aquaman, Flash, and something else. Oh, Shazam! So let's just say,
Be nice to the kids.
My thing is that
We are kid friendly.
once we're done with this year's DC movies, I think we'll be more open to the reboot. We'll be like, all right, let's do it.
Zachary Levi's the worst. My God.
Once we see Shazam, we're like bring the reboot on fast.
Fast track the reboot. Suddenly, Creature Commandos doesn't sound that bad after all.
I'm telling you, I don't know if you saw that new trailer or not. I didn't even see it because it's so bad, but I saw some of the clips on Twitter. It can't be that. It can't be as bad as it looked. It can't. Like honestly, it looks worse than Ant-Man. And Ant-Man CGI is garbage. But Shazam, it can't be that bad. It's like they're making it that bad on purpose. As a joke.
Ant-Man won't be as bad as Shazam. Don't do that. Don't do that.
All I'm saying is that we'll see what happens. But the last point I'm making is this: like you guys have already made a point. The amount that we are criticizing and we're criticizing the quality, we're criticizing the actors, we're criticizing everything to do with what is the current DCEU. So what choice do the new leadership have other than reboot? Right now, unfortunately, this new reboot. No, don't bring up like Return of Snyderverse. That's never gonna happen. So
I never said that.
Probably the worst
I'm
option.
saying this question is so stupid to me. This question that what should have James Gunn done? They already, bro, they handed him on a silver platter. They said, listen, Henry Cavill's coming back. Ben Affleck was already coming back in
They
multiple
did it
projects.
through Black Adam, bro.
Who cares?
That was
It's
the
about
worst
bringing
thing
him back.
ever.
They
It was the
announced.
worst thing ever, bro.
Listen.
As soon
They
as Black
announced.
Adam happened, they needed to reboot right away. Okay, and
They announced a solo movie. Stupid. That's so dumb.
What would that do? Where would they go from there?
What do you mean where would they go? They just give him a solo movie, and then freaking Batman
And then
will be
what?
coming back in multiple different projects. Bring back Wonder Woman. Unfortunately, you know, our friend Ray Fisher, you know,
It would have been building up Black Adam versus Superman. And no one wants to see that. Nobody.
They were building. Listen, if the Man of Steel 2 did get greenlit, but it was only under the guise that Dwayne the Rock Johnson, like he does this WWE like big mashup of all like the big wrestlers, you know, and they all fight, you know, like that was what it was building towards, which would have been like getting what you want, like getting a nice piece of cake, but it just tastes like garbage. So it's like it looks good from the outside, it doesn't taste good. So it's like that's what Superman would have been. I wanted to see Man of Steel 2. I still do. I feel like Henry Cavill got the really short end of the stick compared to everyone else, but it is what it is, you know.
In fact, you know what?
No, you're right. Let's
This is
be
the
real.
perfect chance. They're trying to connect everything. They want to do multiverse. They should continue the other projects to them. In my opinion, you already have 3 Batman. Like you have 4 Batmans that are going to be taking the screen. Affleck, Keaton, Pattinson, and whoever the new guy's going to be. It's going to be do more Superman, do more everything.
I agree, but it is what it is.
See what sticks.
The only problem is
And
that
nothing will.
Reboot was really the only option, but now given all the news in this slate, it doesn't seem any better than what the garbage we have now. You know, so
Oh, it's
we'll have
better.
to see.
No,
They
it's
It's
not
all
that
bad.
it's
It's
better.
mention-
all bad. It's
Did
but
they
right
even
now,
mention Blue
on
Beetle?
paper, some of the stuff is pretty bad.
Yeah, they did.
Did
They
they
said
mention
Blue Beetle might be
James
part of
Gunn mentioned it in his
They
little
said-
clip. He mentioned it. He's like, "Oh, Blue Beetle, you know, he's gonna be really good."
It was done
He
very
said
in a
The
very
Flash
unclear
is the
way.
greatest movie ever, or something.
He said it was one of the greatest superhero movies ever, which I think he's being nice. James Gunn said The Flash might be one of the greatest superhero movies ever.
But it doesn't like, you know, conflict.
I'm gonna
with
let
the
him cook
we've
right now.
had.
Yeah, people are saying it's good, but it's only people who watched it. But I want to say
Yeah, he
this one.
probably loves it. He probably loves it because it's the avenue for where his universe, the old universe, will be erased and his universe will start. You know, that's why he loves it so much.
They did say this in the article. It said there's 12 different endings for The Flash, and they haven't picked which one they wanted. So there's 12 endings, right? And apparently James Gunn in his video, I don't think I saw it, but he said The Flash will reset the DCEU, which means they're treating it as an ender. They're not treating it as like something that's going to continue. So I feel like it's just 12 endings. One of the
Why would they say? Why would he use the word reset if it was ending it? What's the point of resetting anything if you're gonna end it?
Yeah, I'm saying and resets so DCEU becomes DCU. You know, it
Oh,
removes
that's what
the
he
E.
meant. Okay.
E
makes
stands
sense.
for a Snyderverse.
So then Zane is right.
Yeah, I guess so. Either way,
It's all come together.
It's all come together. Yeah. Listen, hey, if they cast a good director for Superman, I'll be there. I'll be like, okay, let's see it. But right now, we'll see what happens.
So
Either way,
you want to see him acting like Peter Quill? That's what you want. 'Cause that's what you're getting.
we're not getting Peter Quill Superman. But that's a topic for another day. I'm just saying we're not getting Peter Quill Superman. I think we'll get a pretty earnest Superman that hopefully isn't super quippy. I fear for how Lois Lane will be portrayed, honestly, but I think Superman overall could be average enough. Like they might just get it on the screen. But it's a topic for another day, aka Sunday. Either way, what do you guys think about this new DC slate? Is there any projects you're excited for? Let us know in the comments below and join the debate. From myself, from Zayan, from Umar, from Samir, and from Fatma, we're the Farooqi family, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.